Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. It's middle January, 17 degrees out. I'm seed starting indoors. But while we're in the middle of winter, I thought that I would go back to some classic footage and just show you 12 different tomato plants, 12 different profiles of mature plants, some determinate varieties, cherry tomatoes, dwarf tomatoes, 1 pound, 2 pound tomatoes, but the full growth of these plants. Maybe you'll want to grow them in your garden. And I also pick the fruit and cut the fruit open. So let's get to 12 of my favorite tomatoes that I grew over the years. Today I want to talk about and profile the Indigo Apple. This is an absolutely beautiful tomato. It's the first time I've been growing it. I just love the colors. Dark purple shoulders, a really crimson red color that's probably a combination of a red tomato and the deep purple that you can see on this tomato. The indigo tomatoes get their dark purple color from anthocyanin, I believe. It's the same pigment that's in blueberries, and it's bred this way. The tomatoes are absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to grow it next year because I really just like looking at the plant. There's over 30 tomatoes on here right now, and you can see they're forming different stages, different colors. I also read that if I leave these on the vine longer, they'll become a little more blacker. They also become much more darker with the purple color, almost to a black, the more sun that they get. So the sunlight is really what gives the tomato the dark color. This plant is about 6 feet tall. If I didn't already say it, there's about 30 tomatoes on there already. So it's somewhere in the mid-range of a good producer. Not a lot of disease. I can see a couple spots on there, but it's July 21st here, and I really only pruned this plant to remove some of the leaves from the bottom just so that soil didn't splash up on there. So it's doing really well in the heat. So it's a nice looking tomato. One of my concerns is that a lot of people say the indigo tomatoes really taste very watery and don't have a lot of flavor. And again, what I learned is really let these tomatoes ripen. And when you press on it, you see how soft they are. Let the indigo type tomatoes ripen. The Tiny Tim is a plant that was introduced in 1946. It gets up to 12 inches tall. These have been growing since 229 from seed. I think I got them out in the ground about 60 days ago. What's that, about 11 inches tall? This is the micro tom, single plants in each of these. And again, dense foliage. You got to get in there, find the tomatoes, and pick them out. I grew these last year. And you want to make sure you get in and harvest them, because if they're hidden down inside here, a lot of times they crack, insects come in, and you just don't see them. But always look through your plants. Micro toms. And the micro tom will get 6 to 8 inches tall, it says. And that's about 9-10 inches right there. Now the final tomato is the red robin. I really like this one. It's a little bit bigger. It will get anywhere from 12 to 15 inches tall. This one, it's not even quite 12 inches. Again, the size is going to vary based on how you're growing it. And then these are the bigger cherry tomatoes. They taste really good. Here's one that cracks, so you always want to make sure you're looking in there. Now well, that won't come off. There you go. And you can just see all the tomatoes in there. They're really packed with cherry tomatoes, all the dwarf varieties. So it's worth growing. Profile the Aussie Heirloom tomato. It's from Australia. It matures in about 85 days once you put your transplants in the ground. You're going to get a whole lot of tomatoes that weigh in between 1 pound and 2 pounds. And you can see there's 4 tomatoes on this vine right down here at the bottom. At least 2 of those are well over a pound. The other ones probably get really close to 1 pound. And then you work your way up. You can see another larger tomato. I've taken 2 or 3 off of here already. Let me show you the fruit. It's absolutely delicious. It's sweet, very meaty tomato, great flavor, great on sandwiches. It makes a great sauce. You know, I say great because I've been growing this for at least 5 years, maybe longer, and I'm going to keep growing it. I highly recommend it. Here is a tomato that weighs 1 pound, a little bit over 1.5 pounds. I think it was 1 pound 11 ounces. Just for comparison's sake, this is pretty much your standard size for a slicing tomato. So you're going to get really big tomatoes off of the Aussie Heirloom. And you can see what the fruit looks like sliced up, and like I said, it's very meaty. The black Krim tomato, it's an heirloom tomato from the Isle of Krim on the Black Sea, which is by the Ukraine. It's rumored to come to the United States in about the 1900s, and it was brought over here by soldiers. It's a 10 to 14 ounce tomato. that has dark purple mahogany, red colors typically on the bottom, and then a purplish green top. And it does have unique markings, which you can see on these pair, and you can see back there. The tomato itself will grow 4 to 6 feet. This one's a little bit on the smaller side because it is grown in a container. The tomato itself is a sweet tomato with a little hint of saltiness to it. There's no acidity. It is an excellent tomato for salads, an excellent tomato for slicing. It is one of my favorite black tomatoes, which essentially means it has a darker purple mahogany colors. It's an indeterminate variety, so it will continue to grow throughout the season and keep producing tomatoes until disease either gets it or frost comes along. Here's a picture of the fruit sliced up, and you can see the different colors. Right next to it is the Suddath strain, which has 1 to 2 pound fruits, and you can see that they're maturing before the Brandywine Red. Both plants take about 80 to 85 days to mature once put in the ground. And I can see, a half a dozen large 1 pound pinkish red tomatoes on the Suddath strain. And I just want to say this is another very sweet heirloom fruit. You can take a look at the flesh. It's a very creamy, meaty tomato that's excellent in sandwiches, excellent sliced, excellent in salads. Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today we're going to look at the Homestead variety heirloom tomato. It's tucked in there behind my tiger melons and right next to a bicolor oxheart Russian variety tomato. Probably about 20 to 30 mature tomatoes in there, and they're all going to get picked today. And I'm going to collect the seeds and I'm going to make sauce out of them. The tomatoes are your standard round tomatoes. Sometimes they're called globe tomatoes, sometimes they're called slicing tomatoes. They're a 6 to 8 ounce fruit, all in uniform in size. Some of them have cracked. We've had a lot of rain lately, and I'm a little slow in getting them picked. It's a great all-around tomato. It's great for slicing, great for salads, great for canning. It's a good sauce tomato. Here's what it looks like fruit-wise. These are definitely about 8 ounces. It's a meaty tomato, not a lot of seeds, and that's what makes it a great all-purpose tomato. You can see some of the tomatoes that I've picked. And again, this tomato is the Homestead variety. It's great for the southern gardens, and it does extremely well in high humidity and heat. Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today I want to profile 2 tomatoes. The Blush, which is what you see right now, and that's an indeterminate 65 to 70 day maturing tomato, and that means from transplant in about 70 days the tomatoes will be ready for you to pick. The Blush tomato, I really like it. It's an elongated cherry that starts out sort of a translucent yellow, becomes more orangey golden, and then red streaks start to come in, and just like a hint of blushing, and obviously that's where they get its name. But this plant has been pruned pretty well, that I removed the bottom leaves so that soil splash doesn't happen, and less likely for my plant to get soil-borne diseases. It's pretty prolific in the sense, I actually knocked off a lot of these clusters accidentally one day, but you can see all the fruit that's forming. It's about 6 feet tall now, and it's really starting to kick in to high gear now that it's bigger, and you can see, all the fruit in there. So it's a good producing tomato. I don't think I'm going to have any issues of not getting a good harvest from it. The fruit is delicious. It really does have a fruity flavor to it, but also mixed in there, and some people always want to make sure it has that tomato taste, which it does, and it has that acidity. So I really like it. Here's what it looks like sliced, and you can see the hint of the blushing throughout the tomato, like all along here too. So this is going to be a keeper for my garden. I already, can tell, 1, the flavor's good, 2, it's pretty prolific, but 3, it's really going to look nice sliced up in sauces and different dishes. Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today I want to profile the Glacier. It's a tomato I've been growing for 5 years. It's billed as a semi-determinate tomato, which I'm not sure exactly what that is. What it means to me is it's not going to set its fruit at once and die out like a determinate variety. And it's really not going to grow 6, 7, 8 feet tall like, your indeterminate cherry tomatoes. Therefore, I think it's great for containers. You can see this one is growing in a container. It is pretty tall. It's already at 5 feet. I've been eating the fruit off of this vine for at least a week or so. It sets fruit in about 55 to 60 days. It's a really good producer in the heat. You can see the green tomatoes coming in. The heat didn't slow it down at all. It had a little bit of dieback, a little bit of disease, but I continue to spray it. But you can see all the green tomatoes on there. And again, it produces early. It's great for containers. That's what I would recommend it for. It's not a cherry tomato that's going to get out of control. Most indeterminate varieties of cherries you just can't grow in pots. And I grew determinate varieties this year, and I really don't like them. I don't like the fact that they die off. So I'm going to try and look for next year indeterminate varieties that are smaller, maybe more compact, maybe semi-determinate, but just slow growers that I can grow in containers and see if I can, get them to live through August in this area. Here's what the fruit looks like down here. Again, red, orange tomatoes, cherry size, good sweetness, not too watery. A tomato that I really recommend for containers, and if you want to plant a couple varieties that start that produce early, like in 55 to 60 days, I think the Glacier is one of those tomatoes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my blog at www.therestedgarden.blogspot.com and also check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.